Welcome to Major League Baseball on ESPN in steamy Atlanta tonight at Truist Park, home of the reigning World Series champion Atlanta Braves, who are ready for a meeting with the St. Louis Cardinals and a matchup between two of the top teams in the National League. And hey, we've got Brian Snitker bobbleheads. Yeah, just in time for this one here today. With that, we say hello and thanks for joining us. Alex Rodriguez, Mike Monaco with you. Buster Olney joins us in a moment. And Alex, let's start with the Cardinals for really the first half of this season. They've jockeyed back and forth with the Brewers.
They have, and they're doing exactly what they've done the last 2 decades. This is an organization that's played over 3,500 games, and only 24 of those have meant nothing. So they're used to being in the middle of the pack, and they're used to being right where they're at, and they're going to make their move right after the All-Star break.
When you talk about the way their roster is constructed, how about the elite corner infield duo? They've got Nolan Arenado, of course, at third, and Paul Goldschmidt at first.
I mean, this is a dream combo, right? Combined, they have 13 Gold Gloves. They lead the category offensively, top 5 in pretty much every category. But these are the guys that if you're a young kid, you want to follow Arenado, you want to follow Goldschmidt. We'll talk about them. They're having a phenomenal year, and these young kids have great role models.
Yeah, they really do. And you talk about cornerstones and leaders and, oh yeah, production as well from both.
Absolutely, and they do it on both sides. And again, they're doing it with the leadership. But what I like about St. Louis, they're very comfortable where they're at right now. And they're going to make the move. If anybody expects them to go away, they're going to be wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. They go up against the Braves in this one, who have taken the first 2 games of this 4-game series. And that continues what the Braves have done since the start of June, when they've been the best team in baseball.
It's incredible. The Braves are taking the role of the underdog again. Last year, they snuck into a World Series with 88 wins. And somehow, as defending world champions, they're doing it again, with the story being the New York Mets everywhere. The Braves have gone about their business quietly, methodically, and they're right where they want to be, just a few games out.
Yeah, you saw how much ground they have made up. We were chatting with Marcelo Zuna, and he knows the number. They know, and the Mets are coming to town here at the end of this homestand for the Braves. And talking to you the last few days, I know you've been really excited to get a first-hand look at Ronald Acuna Jr. now that he's healthy off the torn ACL. I
mean, what a dream player. I mean, he has the swag of you name it, but he's got the power of Hank Aaron. He's got a shotgun bazooka like Clemente. He runs with the wind, but the combination of a 24-year-old with power and eagle eye discipline at the plate, but the one tool that just jumps off the page is his confidence. Mike, I've never seen a player this young, along with Albies, that have so much confidence at this age.
Yeah, and check out the company that he is in, what he did a few seasons ago. Almost joined you in that 40-40 club.
Like I said, he's better than me.
You talk about what this Braves group has done. You got to start with their shortstop as well, Dansby Swanson. And for more on him, we go down to Buster.
Yeah, guy, Dansby Swanson on May 11th was batting .223, and that was about the time that he got 2 screenshots texted to him by a trusted friend in baseball. One screenshot was actually from last July and August when Dansby was going great, and the other was from April when he was struggling so badly. And what it showed to Dansby was his timing was off. He said he knew right away, as soon as he saw the pictures, what the problem was. He made the adjustment. And guys, since then, he's hitting .342. He's got a slugging percentage of .571. Alex, you'll love this. He's driving the ball to right center field. He's playing great. And in fact, he's one of 2 finalists for the starting shortstop in the National League, the other being Trey Turner. And boy, what great timing for Dansby, because he's headed to free agency in the fall, along with a great free agent class. Carlos Correa, if he opts out of his Twins deal. Xander Bogaerts, if he opts out of his deal with the Red Sox. And, of course, Trey Turner. And the question is, with these 4 cities, big contenders, going to be looking for shortstop in the offseason, where will each of these guys land? The Red Sox, the Phillies, the Dodgers, and, of course, the Atlanta Braves. Guys, where do you think Dansby's going to wind up? Where do you think Xander Bogaerts is going to wind up?
Well, I'll tell you, my bet is that Swanson ends up here. He's a hometown kid. He played basketball in high school. Talking to Snitker today, he loves his work ethic, his makeup. He said he's gotten stronger, and what surprises him, Buster, is how he hits the ball to right center field with power. But, Buster, I like what you just mentioned, because that's something that early on in my career, Edgar Martinez talked about endlessly. You have to be on time, get that foot down. You can't make productive contact consistently with being late. Great adjustment.
Yeah, he has put up big-time numbers. You heard about the adjustment he made, and seeing those images side by side and how that spurred him. And, yeah, he has been as good as it gets as far as shortstops go in Major League Baseball this season. Well, we have gotten this far in this lengthy preamble to start the game without talking about the pitching tonight. And how about this matchup, Alex? Each team throws a stud. That is Miles Mikolas, of course, the Cardinals' right-hander. It's a career-best ERA for him this season at 2.61.
I love this. This is the part of baseball that I love the most, the old-school heavyweight fights, right? And Mikolas is going to give you a little bit of everything. Here he throws almost a no-hitter. This is 129th pitch, and he almost gets hit. Oh, man, look at the emotion. And the fans at the Cardinals going crazy. But I got to tell you, this guy, he's the complete package. He's a competitor. He's going to give you 5 pitches. His average fastball is 94, 95 miles an hour. But he's going to pitch off his secondary like a finesse pitcher. And you'll see tonight, he'll get some sneaky strikeouts up in the zone. The 93 fastball will look like 98.
You see the combined numbers for Cardinals starting pitching between him and the veteran Adam Wainwright, but elsewhere is where the questions are for St. Louis in the rotation.
Yeah, and look, the Cardinals always figure out a way. Whoever says, oh, they feel bad for the Cardinals know how to win. It's in their DNA. They're going to go out and get the pieces. Somebody will come out of nowhere. Like this Braves team, these two franchises understand winning as well as anybody in baseball.
Yeah, so Mikolas on one side. Then on the other side for the Braves, Max Fried, the left-hander, and quite simply, he has been one of the best pitchers in baseball this year, building off a couple of really good seasons.
Mike, it's easier to say what he can't do because he can pretty much do everything. He's got the Hollywood looks, Hollywood smile. He's got a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, curveball slider. The change this year, he's throwing the changeup about 15% of the time. That's been a great mix for him. He's also won 2 Gold Gloves. He's a silver slugger. What this guy is, he is with the franchise you build around, and last year he showed us that in the World Series.
So we got all this for star power tonight, and you saw him. Albert Pujols is in the starting lineup as well for the Cardinals. Game 3 of this series on the way. When we come back, Nicole Briscoe's in the studio. She'll get you caught up on all the highlights from around the big leagues.